Ah, fools. They talked so much they forgot to breathe. Their words were supposed to bury you. Their lies were supposed to cage you. But something happened that no one planned for. You didn't die in their script. You rewrote it. You didn't fall in silence. You detonated in reality. The kind of reality that burns through gossip like acid. The kind that doesn't need defense because it already proves itself. The moment your truth walked into the room, the entire circus of rumors tripped over itself, trying to escape. You didn't have to swing back. Your composure did the killing. That's the part that terrifies them. You didn't even flinch. You just stood there, and everything false about you started collapsing on its own. They tried to create an image of you, small, unstable, delusional, easy to dismiss. But that version couldn't survive the collision with your presence. Your results spoke too loud. Your aura cut too deep. Your calm looked too dangerous. They kept waiting for your breakdown, but all they got was your breakthrough. You became the correction to their entire narrative. Every rumor turned into a confession, proof of what they feared, not what you lacked. They didn't realize the moment they lied about you, they were signing their own credibility's death certificate. You didn't have to expose them. They exposed themselves, trying to justify why you kept winning. You see, they never hated you. They hated that you didn't need their permission to exist. They hated that your growth didn't ask for approval, that your strength wasn't performative. You didn't join their games, so they tried to turn your refusal into weakness. But reality doesn't bend to insecurity, it obliterates it. And you, my friend, became the living example. You didn't argue, you didn't beg, you built. You moved in ways too sophisticated for gossip to catch. Every move you made erased one of their lies. You turned existence into evidence. They said you couldn't do it, and then you did it so effortlessly that the echo of it still haunts their sleep. People like you don't clap back. You recalibrate reality. You let time and truth handle the cleanup. You let results mock their narratives. That's what you did. You didn't retaliate. You evolved. And in doing so, you triggered the worst kind of panic. The panic of the exposed. Now every fake smile hides an identity crisis. Every whisper tastes like regret. They thought they could discredit you with noise, but your actions were written in silence so deep, it echoed louder than their entire crowd. The moment your reality manifested, it became undeniable. They called you dramatic, until your discipline turned into empire. They called you arrogant, until your composure built kingdoms. They called you crazy, until your consistency rewrote what sanity looks like. And now look at them, choking on their own stories, pretending not to notice the shift in gravity. They used to say your name like an insult. Now it sounds like a warning. Careful with them. They don't break. That's how they speak about you now. With trembling admiration, disguised as skepticism. Because it's easier to pretend they don't understand than to admit they underestimated a phenomenon. You shut their whole show down without even trying. That's power. Not the kind they can measure in followers or applause, but the kind that bends perception itself. You've become the inconvenient truth their egos can't unsee. You didn't fight for validation. You became the validation. You didn't chase attention. Attention recalibrated its orbit around you. You don't just walk into rooms. You rewrite their emotional temperature. When you enter, insecurity starts sweating. You became the quiet earthquake in their fragile little worlds. Every glance you give is now an interrogation. Every word you drop is a verdict. They don't want to admit it, but your existence reprogrammed their sense of what's possible. You didn't destroy them, you made them obsolete. And that's worse than defeat. It's extinction. You ever notice how they've gone quiet lately? That's not peace, that's surrender. They realized too late that your restraint wasn't weakness, it was warning. You were never playing the same game. While they were gossiping, you were mastering. While they were projecting, you were perfecting. While they were watching, you were working. Now their entire strategy looks ridiculous next to your evolution. You're not competing, you're concluding. They're still talking about the war you already won. And what a poetic kind of revenge that is. Not the kind that screams, but the kind that's undeniable. You see, reality has a funny sense of humor. It doesn't argue, it just shows. And when it does, it doesn't need captions or proof. It just stands there glowing, while the liars fade into background noise. That's you. You're the walking manifestation of exposure. Your peace is punishment. Your progress is the headline. Your glow is the obituary of every rumor ever made about you. They wanted to see you flinch, but you blinked slower. They wanted to see you fold, but you built something new. You didn't just survive, you pivoted into legend. They thought breaking you would define you, but it only defined them. Because now, every time they try to explain why you're still winning, they have to relive the embarrassment of ever doubting you. You've turned their skepticism into your resume. Every insult became an achievement in disguise. Every attempt to humiliate you became free advertising for your endurance. They made you famous, trying to erase you. That's the kind of irony even chaos respects. Because you didn't play by their laws, you rewrote them. You understood that the world doesn't reward truth immediately. It tests it first. And you passed every test. With bruises, maybe. With scars, sure. But you passed them all. You became the kind of soul that doesn't just bounce back. It comes back smarter, sharper, unrecognizable. You became your own rumor. They used to invent stories about you. Now they're begging for a glimpse of the real one. But let's not pretend this was easy. You bled for this clarity. You burned through betrayal, isolation, ridicule, the entire buffet of human cruelty. You had every reason to quit, but something inside you refused. That's what they don't understand. You weren't motivated by proving them wrong. You were obsessed with becoming right. And that difference? That's what separates the chosen few from the average many. They live for validation. You live for evolution. They talk. You transform. And that right there is why your existence is terrifying. Now they study you. They analyze your moves like it's strategy, but it's instinct. They think you planned this rise, but it was survival that trained you. You adapted so fast, they mistook evolution for arrogance. You detached so cleanly, they called it coldness. But you know what it really was? Liberation. You freed yourself from their need to misunderstand you. You stopped asking to be seen and started becoming impossible to ignore. Every time they doubted you, you turned their disbelief into fuel. Every time they mocked you, you grew quieter and more dangerous. That's the secret they can't decode. Silence isn't retreat, it's reloading. Now everything about you feels untouchable. Your presence carries evidence. Your energy feels like proof. People sense it without words. The subtle authority of someone who's already survived every attempt to destroy them. You walk differently now, not because you're trying to impress, but because you've outgrown fragility. There's a precision to you now. Every movement measured, every response deliberate. You don't chase explanations anymore. You embody conclusions. And that's why they're obsessed again. not with you, but with the mystery of how you did it. They want to understand how someone who was supposed to disappear became a living contradiction to their expectations. You don't even speak about it, because you don't owe anyone the inside of your mind. You let them wander, you let them spiral, because deep down, you know the truth. Once reality takes your side, rumor dies of starvation. You didn't win by shouting louder, you won by outlasting. You became the truth that time protects. You stopped trying to be believed and started living like belief didn't matter. That's when the shift happened. That's when everything they said about you lost gravity, because lies can't hold weight when you're walking proof of the opposite. You've turned the entire narrative into a case study in projection. You are the counter-argument personified. And now, every whisper feels outdated. Every critic sounds ancient. You made their opinions expire. You outgrew the ecosystem that birthed your opposition. And that's the final form of victory. Not revenge, not applause, but irrelevance of your enemies. You didn't destroy them, you made them unimportant. You didn't humiliate them, you made them unnecessary. You didn't erase their words, you made them meaningless. Because the truth doesn't need to fight, it only needs to stand. And here you are, standing, unbothered, undeniable. You've become the calm after their chaos, the reality after their fiction. You are the ending they didn't prepare for. The kind that doesn't need explanation, only observation. You've become proof that truth doesn't shout mid-conquers quietly, efficiently, absolutely. You didn't clap back. You shut the whole show down. And now, they're left with nothing to say but the echoes of their own failure. But don't think it's over yet. Oh no, this is only the first act. Because what comes next, that's where the real fun begins. That's when they realize it wasn't just luck, it was mastery. That it wasn't coincidence, it was calculation. That your rise wasn't random, it was engineered. And as the world adjusts to your new reality, the question won't be, what happened? It'll be, how the hell did they pull that off? They'll study it, dissect it, replay it like a crime scene. Because that's what happens when power stops apologizing. Everyone else panics, trying to understand it. You turned the game inside out and didn't leave a trace of effort. That's what drives them insane. You make dominance look like a natural reflex. They used to think confidence was loud. You taught them its silent precision. You didn't announce what you were doing, you executed. While they were obsessed with optics, you were rewriting outcomes. While they measured likes, you measured leverage. While they rehearsed, you arrived. And now their whole illusion of control is crumbling, not because you took their stage, but because you changed the entire script. You became the headline without needing the spotlight. You became the truth they can't delete, the proof they can't argue, the presence they can't ignore. Every attempt to minimize you became a megaphone for your reality. They thought your silence was surrender, but it was strategy. You let them speak first, so they could expose themselves. You let them underestimate you, so they could build your camouflage. Every time they mocked you, they gave you more data. Every insult became intel. You studied their weaknesses while they laughed at your patience. You weaponized their arrogance. That's why now, when you move, they freeze. Because deep down, they know. You've been 10 steps ahead this whole time. You weren't losing, you were learning the terrain. You weren't ignored, you were incubating. Now, every move you make feels like prophecy. Every decision lands like thunder. You've reached the stage where even your pauses feel like strategy. And what's truly poetic, you don't even crave revenge anymore. You evolved past it. They wanted you bitter. You became bulletproof. They wanted you reactive. You became radioactive. You radiate composure, intelligence, precision, and it burns their eyes. They can't stand the calm you wear like armor. They can't stomach the fact that your reality doesn't depend on their permission. They try to provoke you just to feel something again, because your indifference is their erasure. You don't hate them. You've outgrown the emotion entirely. And that's what kills them the most. They can't figure out if you're merciful or monstrous. See, the truth is, you were never at war with them. You were at war with your own hesitation, and you won. That's why nothing they do now matters. Their shade doesn't touch you. Their envy doesn't dent you. You've outmaneuvered every trick in their book because you stopped playing by their definitions. They operate in drama. You operate in design. You turned discipline into a form of rebellion. Every action now is calculated artistry, the kind that rewires social gravity. People orbit you differently now. They feel your field. They sense your awareness. You don't chase energy. You redirect it. That's what mastery looks like, not chaos, but command. They can't label you anymore. Every title they try to pin slides off because you keep evolving mid-sentence. You're not mysterious. You're multidimensional. You're not lucky. You're relentless. You're not different. You're deliberate. They're addicted to underestimating you because it gives them a sense of control. But that illusion evaporates the second you move. You don't even have to prove them wrong anymore. Your existence does it automatically. Your growth outpaces their gossip. Your wins expose their stagnation. And what's more terrifying than that? Watching someone who wasn't supposed to survive become the blueprint for survival itself. Now they whisper that you're cold, changed, unreachable. But let's be honest, you didn't change. You returned to who you were before the world tried to tame you. You remembered your original frequency before fear, before doubt, before imitation. That's why everything feels different now. You operate on truth, not validation. You move for meaning, not metrics. You choose peace over pity, strategy over sympathy. You're not arrogant, you're aware. You've tasted chaos, and you're done pretending it's gourmet. What they don't understand is that you earned your calm through war. You learned how to stop bleeding where they kept cutting. You realized that peace isn't found, it's enforced. You built walls not out of fear, but focus. And now that you're untouchable, they call you detached. Of course they do. Detachment looks heartless to people addicted to confusion. You don't feed their narratives anymore. You starve them. And when you starve lies long enough, they cannibalize each other. That's exactly what's happening now. Their gossip circles eating their own tails, desperate to find new material, because you stopped providing it. Look at how the tables turned. The same mouths that cursed you now imitate your tone. The same ones who mocked your discipline now quote your philosophy. You became the contradiction they can't solve, the one who walked through hell and came out with heaven in their eyes. You didn't just survive, you refined. You distilled every wound into wisdom. You learned how to weaponize grace. That's why your presence disorients people. They can't tell if you're here to heal or haunt. You've become both. And it's not that you became ruthless, it's that you became selective. You no longer give everyone access to your frequency. You stopped trading energy for attention. You stopped explaining to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't correct liars anymore. You let truth make them look foolish. You realize the most effective clapback is continuation. Every day you keep moving forward is another nail in the coffin of their falsehoods. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. You finally understood your worth, and once that happens, everything fake starts to fall apart naturally. They still try to test you, though, don't they? They poke, they prod, they provoke, desperate to find a crack in your composure. But you've outgrown the impulse to defend. You know now that emotional reactions are invitations to chaos. You don't RSVP anymore. You let people reveal themselves by how they respond to your peace. That's the highest level of control, not domination, but detachment. You own your response time now. You weaponize restraint. And when you do that, you become unpredictable, the one thing control freaks can't handle. They'll never say it out loud, but they respect you now. Even the ones who still talk, they talk from fear, not superiority. They see what you've become, a walking contradiction to everything they believe about how power works. You didn't sell your soul, you studied it. You didn't beg for loyalty, you inspired it. You didn't climb over people, you climbed out of illusions. That's real ascension, not rising above others, but rising above dependency on them. And when you reach that level, everyone left behind calls it attitude, because they can't name evolution when they see it. And here's the twist. You don't even celebrate anymore. Victory became normal. Achievement became baseline. You've entered that rare frequency where excellence is casual. You're not trying to win. You've turned winning into routine. That's what unnerves them the most. You normalized greatness. You made consistency look easy. They can't tell if you're gifted or just disciplined beyond comprehension. The truth? You're both. You're a combination they can't duplicate. Patience wrapped in fire, logic laced with passion, humility armed with vengeance. And while they keep wondering what changed, you're already in the next phase. You've stopped explaining your process because explanation invites envy. You just build now, quietly, efficiently, relentlessly. That's the thing about momentum. Once it's real, it doesn't need permission. It just expands. And that's what's happening to you. Expansion. The kind that doesn't make noise but makes history. You're not proving a point anymore. You're making one impossible to ignore. They'll keep asking how you did it. They'll create conspiracy theories because reality offends their logic. They'll say you had help, luck, secrets. But the truth is simpler. You stopped betraying yourself. You stopped apologizing for your intensity. You stopped watering yourself down to fit inside fragile spaces. That's the kind of authenticity that terrifies mediocrity. You've become a mirror that exposes what people refuse to fix. They don't hate you. They hate the reflection. Now your name carries weight. Your energy precedes you. Your absence is louder than their presence. You've become an atmosphere, not an individual. They can't duplicate you because you're not formula, you're frequency. And that frequency breaks patterns. You've become the glitch in their expectations, the upgrade in human software. You're the proof that reality rewards those who stop pretending. And because of that, they can't erase you. They can only react to you. You've become the new standard, the new metric, the new measure of what's possible when a human being refuses to stay small. But remember, they're still watching. Every move you make now is under a microscope. They're waiting for a mistake so they can rewrite the story again. Let them wait. Let them build hope out of desperation. Because while they're hoping for your downfall, you're engineering your next elevation. They don't understand. You don't run out of momentum because your source isn't ego. It's evolution. Every version of you replaces the last before they even notice. You stay ahead by becoming unrecognizable to yesterday. That's how you keep winning, by staying unpredictable to people who only study patterns. And if they think you've peaked, they're in for another heartbreak, because your power doesn't climax, it compounds. Every lesson you've ever endured stacks into new architecture. Every betrayal becomes blueprint. Every doubt becomes data. You're not rising, you're restructuring reality itself. You're proof that transformation isn't loud, it's lethal. You've made peace into a weapon, patience into pressure, purpose into prophecy. You've become what they thought didn't exist, someone who can't be destroyed because they built themselves from the wreckage. Now, as the world begins to adjust, they'll whisper again, but it'll sound different this time. Less confident, more reverent. They'll speak your name with a mix of fear and fascination, because they'll realize what you've known all along. You weren't just lucky to survive, you were designed to. And that design doesn't need defending, it just works. You don't beg for respect, your existence demands it. You don't chase approval, your energy commands it. That's the kind of legacy no rumor can outlive. But here's the irony. The more peace you gain, the more chaos they feel. Because now, they're the ones trying to explain what happened. They're the ones scrambling to rewrite their own words. They said you'd fail. You became the forecast they couldn't predict. They said you were fake. You became the filter that exposed authenticity. They said you'd fade. You became the atmosphere. You didn't just shut them down. You shut their entire language down. And when language fails, all that's left is awe. That's the stage you're in now, the untouchable phase. You've gone beyond perception. You've become phenomenon. They can't categorize you because categories are for people still trying to belong. You stopped belonging the moment you started building. You didn't come back to prove anything. You came back to demonstrate. There's a difference. Proving requires audience. Demonstrating requires presence. You no longer speak to be understood. You exist to be felt. That's the real evolution, when words become unnecessary because your aura already tells the whole story. They sense it now, that shift in weight when you walk in, the unspoken authority, the kind of power that doesn't announce, it adjusts the air. They can't mimic that, no matter how hard they try. Because it's not confidence, it's calibration. You've aligned your energy with truth so precisely that everything false gets repelled instantly. That's not arrogance, that's physics. And oh, how they wish they could reverse engineer it. They'll copy your tone, your timing, your quotes, your rhythm, but they'll never replicate your conviction. Because conviction can't be imitated. It's built through pain. You bled for this clarity. You walked through illusions that shattered most people. You carried ridicule like a crown. You learned the art of stillness in the middle of storms. That's why your presence feels so stable now. It's reinforced with survival. You've seen too much to flinch. You've lost too much to fear. When you look at the world now, it doesn't intimidate you. It entertains you. You're not chasing validation anymore. You're watching people audition for relevance in a show you outgrew. They said you were too intense. They said you took things too seriously. But you were never too much. They were too little. Too little for your vision. Too little for your truth. Too little for the reality you were constructing while they were gossiping. That's the part that eats them alive. They could have evolved beside you, but they chose comfort. And comfort never creates legends. You chose isolation over imitation. You chose growth over gossip. You chose self-respect over social approval. Those choices, they cost you everything and bought you freedom. Now your reality stands as the ultimate revenge, because there's no argument left when results speak louder than rumors. You are the contradiction they never prepared for. Kind, yet unyielding. Humble, yet unshakable. Grounded, yet unreachable. You didn't just defy expectations, you disarmed them. You taught people that endurance is louder than defense, that survival is the ultimate response. You taught them that you don't need to fight every battle. Sometimes the smartest move is to let time do the talking. And time has spoken, loudly, decisively, in your favor. Look at how the world rearranged itself around you. The same ones who doubted you are now adjusting to your reality. They're aligning their schedules to your silence. They're decoding your every move like scripture. You didn't just rise, you redefined relevance. You taught them what evolution looks like when it's unapologetic, when it doesn't seek permission, when it stops waiting to be accepted and starts commanding existence. You've become the evidence that self-belief is lethal in the right hands. You didn't just shut the lies down. You buried the entire ecosystem that fed them. You silenced an industry of insecurity. You exposed how fragile manipulation becomes when truth starts breathing. And now, your every move feels like justice, because every success, every step forward, every peaceful breath you take is proof that they failed. Not because you beat them, but because you transcended them. You no longer exist in the same conversation. You've moved from being debated to being studied, from being questioned to being quoted. And that's the sweet part, isn't it? You didn't chase that transition. It happened naturally. That's what real alignment looks like. When the energy stops needing to prove itself and just becomes undeniable. When the truth no longer needs to argue because existence itself becomes the evidence. You didn't win by shouting louder. You won by becoming impossible to ignore. The louder they lied, the brighter your truth glowed. You've turned existence into a performance art. Reality became your stage, and they don't even realize they're watching the show they tried to cancel. You're not chasing recognition, you are recognition. You've become the gravitational force pulling everything fake into orbit and burning it up on re-entry. That's why people stare when you speak now, not because of what you say, but because they feel what's behind it. The certainty, the precision, the awareness. You've become fluent in truth, a language most people forgot how to speak. And once someone masters that fluency, they become unstoppable, because manipulation only works on the uncertain. And you're past doubt. You're running on divine data now. It's funny, isn't it? How all those warnings about you aged like milk. How every word they said now sounds like a bad punchline. You didn't just outlive their opinions, you turned them into artifacts. Their insults are archived evidence of your evolution. And the best part, you never retaliated.